Taylor Tarento again for a special episode, Easter special episode of End of the Road News. We're going to start out with a couple articles that have been out there. You're not really looking, I don't really have all the details in front of me. Someone told me, my old co-host, Hermina, told me, shared with me about a tractor trailer being parked in front of a church in Tennessee, blocking off entrances, and then dropping the trailer and lighting the entire trailer that was full of Bibles on fire. And, they were investigating last I heard, so that's pretty interesting. But in other news, Donald Trump has released a King James version of the Bible, God Bless the USA Bible, the only Bible that Donald Trump endorses. I'd recommend you get a copy if you don't have a King James version of the Bible, along with the Constitution and Bill of Rights are in there. A couple other things, I think, too. It helps Trump's campaign. It helps his legal expenses that the government is colluding with the White House and the Department of Justice to essentially destroy that man. Similarly with a bunch of other people, truth tellers, etc. So, Trump is the best option for getting January 6ers free with his pardons on the first day. So, at least the ones that are worth a shit. I think that pretty much summarizes. We're going to move on to other news. I know a lot of people are interested in hearing more about John Sullivan. He's a neighbor here in the D.C. Gulag with me. Little background, John Sullivan tried to get me to help him start a riot with the Ashley Babbitt scene. I had a moment the other day to talk with him again, do another interview. We got a little bit further than usual because he really wanted to tell me these things, so I don't know what got him so interested in. But one of the things I noticed was that he's emotionally unbalanced. He was certainly at peak, what we call mania, so a manic episode, and he was really trying to start shit. So he was yelling at me. He really wanted my attention. I didn't get it to him. He was really, really begging for it. So he asked for an interview, so I gave him an interview, and some of the things he said was just really interesting, especially when he's at the peak of his manic episode. Let's see here. I asked him about Ashley Babbitt. What did he mean by that she was a 14-year-old girl that got shot in there? That's the first thing he said to me. He said he never said that. I pressed him harder. I said, yes, you did. And he said, fine. She was a 14-year Air Force veteran. I said, so you knew her from before. How did you know her from before? Because how else would he know this stuff, right? I mean, this was before anyone reported that she was a 14-year Air Force veteran the following day. So he said, they didn't know her. And I said, well, how do you know? Tell us the story. So he told us the whole story of how he decided to just do his, what we call a rehearsal. So, he had this in his mind, so he rehearsed it, and he went over the details of this supposed shooting. You can hear him do any of his interviews if you want to hear that. But really what struck me in him divulging all this information was he said that she was shot in the neck, and he's got it on film, her blood bleeding from the neck. And he made this very dramatic detail about how she was locking eyes with him, and he could see the life fading from the eyes as he looked at her. So I immediately questioned. I said, hey, I've seen your footage, and she wasn't shot in the neck. In fact, the coroner's report said that she was shot in the abdomen. So none of these things are actually true. You can see both of those angles from any footage. You can see that she was not shot in the abdomen, or there would be blood in the abdomen. She wasn't shot in the neck, or the be blood on the neck. But either way, he said, fine. So I said, do you know anything about her being an FBI agent, Ashley Babbitt? And this is really where it gets interesting, where he says, well, she's a CIA agent, and so am I. So he just said this shit. Now, I'm just citing what he said, in the interview. He may have been acting facetious, but I really think, since I kept catching him in all these lies, that he was trying to get ahead of me and was trying to make it seem as if he said this, he would actually have some sort of defense. Oh, I was just kidding. He's obviously an idiot and crazy. That's another reason why I didn't really come forward with this as soon as possible. And also, I really wanted to hear what he would have to say with the teaser and stuff like that, because obviously someone is watching my channel and talking to him, not just spying on me through here. So shout out to whoever that is. I think I know. You're a piece of shit. And what else? Oh, right. So the next day, after he started coming down from his manic episode, unprompted, he said that I thought he was crazy, but other people here said they knew he was crazy. He does receive medication every day. And if you want to know more about that, there's his family members out there who are giving interviews about him, but more specifically his brother, who's also adopted. And he talks about how he's a notorious narcissist and other mental health things that he has grown up with this guy. So you can go see that for yourself. Just type in John Sullivan, Jade Max's brother interview. I think you'll see it on Rumble, I think. So I'll try to get that posted. If not, if you can't find it yourself, it was a really good interview. It's like 2 parts, I think. So let's see here. We went over family, piece of shit. Let's see here. So now he's in this he's in this depression swing. So he's likely bipolar, manic depressive, bipolar. I don't know exactly what medications he's receiving. Obviously, they don't really work. So I wouldn't necessarily say that this is, he's doing anything he can. He's talking up things such as being able to get out of here soon, getting his sentence reduced by half. So someone in the system is actually cooperating and coordinating with him. How much that's really going to help him and benefit in the end, I don't know. This guy has a big history of working with domestic terrorists, so that's pretty interesting. He's obviously Trump derangement syndrome is what I would diagnose him fully with. So regardless of what he tells us, he's obviously also a pathological liar, disinformation agent, working with the government. I think I'm going to slow my roll. I don't want to give too much away. I got a couple more of these I think I want to plan in the future as far as what to say in the future. But anyway, I'll slow down. Yesterday, he's been acting like a civil rights lawyer. He's trying to get everyone to hear his points, and he's very proud and boasting about all these things, these promises people might be making to him, and to harass me, and other things like that nature. I don't know how well it's going to work out for him. I don't believe anything he says. However, I thought that was interesting that he said that he wasn't a CIA agent, and so was Ashley Babbitt. Unprompted. I didn't ask him if they were CIA agents. He just simply said that, trying to get in front of something. He's obviously defending somebody and some things. This January 6th story saga is really interesting and opening up. And it's definitely going to turn heads here soon. So just how much can we get out there before it all comes tumbling down the story? So It's all over the place. People need to know this stuff. You know, Jaden or John Sullivan really thinks that he has extra protection. He keeps rambling on about this stuff. Today he decided to just start yelling at black people, racist terms like nigger. You know, while I say this, I never call black people nigger. That's just asking for it. But now he doesn't care. He's upped his ante. He's going all in. He's telling us how great he is, how much protection he has. No one cares. Literally, no one cares. He's calling them nigger, porch monkey, coon. These are his terms. While I say these words, sometimes it's in reference to slavery, not any particular race. I've never said anything. I've made it maybe seem like I was talking about black people. I certainly was. In fact, I even say things like white niggers. You know, that's a topic. That's a real thing. Historically, white people have enslaved, specifically Irish. More in line with that here in America as well. I talked about black people that are slave owners, that sold black people over here as slaves. I've talked about, you know, a lot of things that people don't really talk about, and a lot of people like Jaden like to distort to make it fit his narrative and the mainstream media's narrative of slavery is primarily only black people, or that they're the only people that can say the word, which is supremely racist to say, like, well, only black people can say a word. And every other person that ever says these words, no matter what the context, are simply
You have 1 minute remaining.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Slavery is still alive and well in America. The Constitution still says it's legal. It never ended here in America. These are points that are really important to dish out and to talk about. I support the black community. I support black people. I support all races. So, I mean, it doesn't really necessarily mean that I'm a racist for saying words. So, it's more to the point. This stuff, when we talk about stuff like racism, it's okay. It doesn't make you shouldn't be scared to talk about these things. However, to lie and use media to spin things to get people to start race wars, like a Capitol policeman who's black and an immigrant shooting Ashley Babbitt, who's another government agent, and then saying all sorts of stuff to start race wars is a pretty big deal.
Thank you for using Global Tel Link.